Am I the asshole for kicking my niece out for letting her friends hurt my dog? No, absolutely not. So for some backstory, I, 20 female, have a sister, 27 female, who's a struggling addict. She had a daughter when she was 15. We'll call her Mary, 12 female. I agreed to take Mary in a few months ago because my apartment has a spare bedroom, and if not, she would have gone into foster care. My sister warned me before I took her in that she was misbehaved, but she was clearly under the influence, so I chalked it up to my sister saying things. A few weeks ago, I came home to find Mary sending explicit pictures to men in the bathroom. After going through her phone, I found some of them were as old as 17 or 18. I took her to a therapist because I believed she was doing things like this because of trauma, and she was using that to cope. From what I was told, she's been opening up well. However, I came home last night from a date around 10 p.m. I found my apartment trashed and my dog scared, crying, and shaking in the corner of the room. I didn't see Mary, so my mind went to the worst, assuming that someone had broke in. I went to Mary's room and I found her all giggles and smiley. I asked her what the fuck happened to my house. She said she had a few friends over. Just to be clear, I don't mind if she has friends over, but the rule is she asks first, and I have to be home in case something happens. I told her she knows better than to have friends over when I'm not home and to ask her why my dog is crying. I decided to tell her to go and clean the mess that was made, and I went to go check on my dog. When I got close to her to try to pet her legs like I always do, she snapped, something that she's never done before. Then I saw the blood around her mouth. I decided to take her to the vet. When we got there, they seen my dog and informed me that one of her back legs is broken and she was missing 2 teeth. Absolutely not. You gotta go somewhere. You can't stay here because this is my dog's home. You were a guest. Nah, baby girl, you gotta find somewhere else to go. You can't stay here. The vet said that he wanted to keep my dog overnight and I agreed to it. So when we got home, I asked her what the hell happened to my dog. She tells me that she ate food off the table, so one of her guy friends punished her. I told her to go to her room and that in the morning, someone was going to be here to take her to a foster home. Some say that I'm overreacting, others say that I'm justified. I just don't want a girl who thinks animal abuse is funny living in my home. Am I the asshole? No, I don't think you're the asshole, and I don't give a fuck about her being 12. You're old enough to fucking know better. You know better. You were giggling and fucking laughing as if she was high off of something when you got home after your house was fucking trashed and your dog is laying in the living room bleeding in the fucking corner. No, absolutely not. Go ahead and giggle and laugh your way all the way into the fucking system because no, hell no. No, hell no. At this point, you don't even know who the fuck these men were that were in your house, how old they were, and if they're fucking coming back. Like, nah, baby girl, you didn't put everybody in my house at risk. You can't stay here. Now, before y'all get on here trying to tell me how terrible I am because this little girl's clearly gone through some trauma and that's what's making her act out this way, her trauma may be a reason, but that doesn't make it an excuse. Absolutely not. She's in therapy and she's been opening up well, but when her aunt goes out on a date, she decides, I'm going to trash the fucking house, not even bother to clean it. So she didn't think there would be any fucking consequences, and she knowingly allowed the dog to be fucking hurt and was in the room smiling and giggling and shit when her aunt got home. I don't give a fuck. Her trauma is not an excuse for her to do some shit that she knows is fucking wrong.
Am I the asshole for ignoring our daughter's inconvenient boundary?
Inconvenient boundary?
Yes.
Inconvenient boundary.
My wife, 39 female, and I, 36 female, have a daughter, technically my stepdaughter, but I raised her since she was 5. 19 female, from a previous relationship of my wife's. Her father is not in the picture, who has come back home after her first year at uni. She picked up a new and problematic issue since she was last home for an extended period of time surrounding laundry. Basically, she has established a boundary where nobody is to touch her clothes. Her reasoning is that she's concerned something will go missing / get damaged, thinks it's just gross for us to go through her stuff, and is an adult who deserves privacy. All fine, and we have 3 young children in our home, 9 female, and 2 male. So plenty of washing to keep us entertained. The issue is that she has a habit of monopolizing washing facilities to the extent where we're effectively prevented from being able to get any other laundry done.
Yeah. Yikes.
For example, last weekend, she put a wash in before work and hung it out on the line around 11 a.m. She then left for work 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Her wash was dry within an hour, and obviously she wasn't going to be back all day. We had a few days worth of washing to get through, so my wife, her mom, took everything off the line and folded it. We got through 5 other loads that day. She was not happy when she got home and said that she had been very clear that we weren't to touch her things. When we explained the situation above, she said that it was first come, first serve, not something we've ever said, and that since the next day was due to be nice too, we should have just waited to get through it the next day. That really pissed us off. We've offered her a weekly laundry day where we'll avoid using the machine so she can have freedom to do as she pleases on that day.
Right.
But she says once a week won't cut it. Fair enough, but there are 5 other people in this house that need clean clothes / bedding / towels. Other than that, all we can really suggest is that she keeps up on top of her washing. If she's not at home, we'll ask her to clear her clothes from the machine / dryer / washing line as needed. But like any other 19-year-old, she has a social life and work commitments and is often busy. She's upset because she says we're not respecting her boundaries, whereas we've pointed out that while don't move my clothes is objectively reasonable, it's not fair for her to do so at the inconvenience of everyone else in the house. Essentially, the last conversation we had ended up with her in tears because we said as long as a situation like Saturday keeps occurring, we'll continue to move her stuff. Just FYI, we do fold her clothes carefully and leave them in a basket in a communal living area so they're kept together in good condition, and we're not going in and out of her room. We normally have a good relationship with her, so this is a bit unusual. We've asked her if everything else is okay, and she says yes and seems otherwise normal in and of herself, and she's normally reasonable. So are we being unreasonable? And then there's a few edits kind of explaining her behavior. But so edit number 1. So the consensus is pretty much that we're right and our daughter is being massively unreasonable and that we're being pushovers for not being tougher on her from the off. We've shown her the comments and unfortunately she's still insisting that we're the unreasonable ones. We've never considered the local laundromat and have banned her from using our washing machine for the next fortnight, given she's still unwilling to adjust.
Okay.
She's absolutely furious and wife has ordered a lock for the washroom door to enforce the 2-week rule.
Oh, it's only 2 weeks?
Fortnight. Hopefully, a couple of weeks hauling her stuff to and from will help her see the light. Thank you very much, all. And then edit number 2. A slightly calmer update this morning. Our daughter came to talk to us and apologize for the situation. She has found the transition back home hard. I get that. And had maybe become a bit territorial over her stuff while at uni. All okay. She then asked if she could please have a laundry day and be allowed to use the machine. Her place of work is closed Mondays, so that's now her day. And we said that she can use the machine on other days, but if by 7 a.m. Tuesday there's anything in the way or any issues on any other days, we'll be moving her stuff. A genuine sorry goes a long way with us, and while the advice had been to hold firm, we really don't want an issue if the situation can be resolved calmly. We've also made it clear that if her things do have to be moved on any day other than Monday, which is totally hers, and we get any grief about it, we'll go back to a 2-week ban and there's no going back. Maybe a less satisfying update than the last one, but we're happy we can resolve the problem calmly. She did mention she read through some of the comments last night, so thank you to everyone that weighed in. Am I the asshole for accepting money from my parents for my wedding and then eloping? My parents gave each of my brothers $50,000 when they graduated from university as a down payment on their home. When I graduated, they did not do the same for me. I asked about it and they said my husband should provide. I wasn't married. I still lived at home. 3 years later, I met my husband. We dated for a year and then we got engaged. My parents were overjoyed. We were set for a date. They gave me a check for $50,000 to pay for the wedding. What the f***? I took the check and we eloped. We then used the check for a down payment on a house. My husband had a similar amount saved up, so we are in a good spot with equity. My parents were furious that they didn't get a big wedding for all of their friends and family to attend. They said they gave me the money for a wedding. My argument is that I got married and I had leftover money. Accurate in my books. My brothers are on their side, so I'm here to ask if I'm in the wrong. Am I the asshole? And she does clarify in the comments, she does have a wedding. It's just not a super big wedding. That costs $50,000.